What's up guys, welcome to my video. So today we're going to be taking a look at we're doing a first look at the new Demon Hunter PVE build. And I'm actually having a lot of fun with this I-beam slash meta build. It's really fun. It's very busy, and as you can see from these tests, it does pretty good DPS up front. Like I'm doing over 2 million DPS on pull. And these DPS tests that you see here, guys, are, with me, not being buffed up or flasked or, popping heroism or anything. This is just straight out me and the DPS dummy. And I can kind of see why Blizzard basically wants us to go with this build because, in Tumor Sargeras, the Demon Hunter build that we were using was pretty, well, kind of boring. At least in my opinion, there was a lot of RNG involved, with demon blades and all that. And I don't know, with this build, it feels like I'm more in control of, my Fury generation, overall, how much DPS I can output, and it's just overall a lot more fun. Now, I don't have the 4-piece yet. I've been lucky enough to only get, 3 pieces tier 21, but I'm assuming that once I get my 4th piece, this build is only going to get a lot better. But in today's video, we're going to be going over things like, best legendaries. We're also going over my rotation. We're also going to be talking about things like my personal PVE build that I'm using for these tests. And then lastly, we're going to be going over, best stats, like crit, mastery, haste, etc. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so first let's take a look at my PvE build, and it's your pretty standard, I-beam slash meta build. And with this, it's all about, constantly spamming Demon's Bite, constantly being in metamorphosis, and of course doing, crazy amount of DPS. So this is pretty much, a typical I-beam build. As far as my gear goes, I'm almost 950 item level. For my stats, I am at over 50% crit, over 20% haste, and over 30% mastery, which is actually very important for this build to work. Legendaries, I am using the legendary helm. It's basically what makes this build work. And then of course the legendary ring, Anger of the Half Giants. But if for whatever reason you don't have the helm, I would recommend farming it, but you can always swap it out. And I found that the belt actually works really well for this build as well. But if you don't have the helm or the belt, then pretty much I don't know, use whatever legendary that you have available, and make sure you're farming the helm or the belt if you can. Alright guys, so let's take a look at the rotation for this build. So what you do is you're going to cast Nemesis first on the boss or the target. You're going to generate a little bit of Fury, then you're going to cast I-beam, which is going to take you into your first metamorphosis for 8 seconds. You're going to spam Chaos Strike to generate, soul fragments. When you're out of Fury, you just spam Demon's Bite to regenerate, your Fury bar. And then once your first meta is up, then you're going to use your main metamorphosis, which is going to reset I-beam again. And then, of course, same rotation, guys. Spamming Chaos Strike, spamming Demon's Bite to generate Fury. Make sure you're using your I-beam on cooldown. I know some players are choosing to save their I-beam for after their second meta is up, but I actually just decided to use it as soon as it resets, because by that time I've generated so many soul fragments that it basically resets the cooldown on it. I haven't found much of a difference between holding onto it after my second meta is up and then using it right away. The DPS is almost identical, guys, so I think it just really is up to you and your personal preference to see whether you want to use it right away after the reset or if you want to save it. But that's pretty much the build in a nutshell, guys. Cast Nemesis, build Fury, cast your I-beam, go into meta. Once your first meta is up, then use your main metamorphosis to reset I-beam, etc. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.